let's go back and make sense of this. So the question is, what do we know right now that we didn't know 24 hours ago? What do we know about the world? Well, last night, I knew that Trump wanted leverage over the Fed. Already knew that. Last night, I already knew that Trump had no respect for the independence of the Fed. He's been undermining it for a long, long time. I already knew that he'd weaponized the Justice Department. So all of those things I already knew. So what did I learn today? Now, one thing to understand is this news cycle did not come from the administration. It was Jay Powell who'd received the subpoenas, who decided he would move this into the public arena. This was meant to be a private threat. Do what I want or you're going to jail, brother. Powell moved it to the public arena. He did so powerfully. He did so directly to the public. He's literally never done before what he did last night. Neither has any chair of any industrialized central bank that I'm aware of. He released a video directly to the American people, not only put it on the Fed website, but also many others as well to make sure it couldn't be taken down, and spoke directly to the camera about what's going on here. What happened is we had a round of Trump trying to undermine the Fed. Powell won. Powell beat him. Look, Powell said, I'm not backing down, and you don't have the goods. And here we are talking about it right now, and everywhere, no one's saying that tomorrow, that this threat, which is the only news we learned about was this threat, no one's saying this threat in and of itself is doing anything to the stance of monetary policy. And in fact, what we got was he laid the whole game out so clearly that we saw Senator Tillis today come out and say, this is not okay. Yeah. Tillis said, I'm not voting for a Federal Reserve chair until this is cleared up, by which he means I'm not voting for a Trump toady. Lisa Murkowski did the same thing. What that actually means is, now I'm going to make the argument markets should have gone up. Because what it actually means is many of us were worried that Trump was going to appoint a toady and that we would have a non-independent central bank, and it would have occurred through the normal process of him suggesting Kevin, yes, sir, has it. And Kevin would have gone and been Federal Reserve Chair in name only and taken all of his marching orders from the Fed, and we would have gotten all of the negative consequences. And now what he's done is he's woken up the Senate, and that Senate confirmation, now we have at least 2 Republicans now on record as saying, no, I'm not going to rubber stamp a toady. And I think what happens in that fight to replace Jay Powell is going to be vitally, vitally important. But the thing I want you to notice is when I tell the story, we didn't actually learn much that was bad that we didn't already know. And markets respond to new knowledge. And so I think that's really the story. Now, let me say it in simpler language, right? Markets had priced in that Trump hates the Fed. They priced in a lot of that. And then there's the yapping. Well, the president yaps all day. And some of the yaps are really offensive, but only some of them he means. And then even the ones he means, he often tacos. If I'm a trader on Wall Street, I would be sick to death of losing money because I responded to a yap only to get tacoed. By the way, those are technical trading terms. And so, of course, they're not going to move, right? Yeah. So you need to discount everything by the probability that actually happens. And for any given yap, the probability it actually becomes an untacoed outcome is incredibly low, beyond knowing that he's going to continue this campaign to undermine the Fed.
We'll be right back.